game we just had between Casper and Gillette. We've got 2 more games on the schedule today, and the one that's about to come up right now, Cheyenne Rock Springs. We're going to get you set for that one, as well as look back at what happened earlier today. I'm Colin Holt, welcoming you back to the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios. Everybody has a reason to buckle up. What is yours? Mine is we've got some great baseball going on, and I want to make sure that I see it as well. Why don't we rewind the tape and go all the way back to Game 1, that 10 a.m. game this morning, Sheridan and Evanston. They kicked things off for us at that 2021 Wyoming AA American Legion State Tournament. So we'll go to the Game 1 footage, and we'll pick things up in the top of the first. Trevor Stowe on the mound, or not on the mound, but at the plate in highlight number 1. He goes back up the middle. That's actually late in the game, top of the 7th. Caden Steele with a 2 RBI single. As we kind of fast forward a little bit to the very end of the game, Sheridan would win that one 9-2 on the Impact Physical Therapy scoreboard. Here's some highlights from earlier. This is what got the scoring going for Sheridan way early on in the first inning. That was Trevor Stowe. And then we keep it in the first inning, and Error scores another run for Sheridan. They jumped out to an early 2-0 lead that would end up growing to a 4-0 lead with Cody Kilpatrick. He would get himself a 2 RBI double with that shot out to right field. Evanston, they got a couple back to keep it close. It was 6-2 at one point around the 5th inning, and the Evanston defense kept their offense in it with a great play that's coming up in just a moment. How about the old 4-6-3 double play to end the top of the 5th for the Outlaws? They were close for a few moments, but then this Sheridan team started to pull away. You saw it at the beginning of the highlight package, the last couple of runs to cap off a 9-2 victory for Sheridan. All right, let's go to Game 2. This is the one that just concluded, Casper and Gillette. Let's just fast forward a little bit. We know it was 2-2. At the end of regulation, we played some free baseball, extra innings, so why don't we go to the top of the 8th here. Jason Fink with an RBI single. That puts Gillette in front, 3-2. Matt Newland follows it up with a 2 RBI double of his own. So you're thinking Gillette's in pretty good shape here. They're up 5-2. Casper, well, they would not go away quietly. Mason Drew for Gillette. He wanted to keep this a close game. Diving catch. You can see him there in the far part of the video out in right center field. He kept it to a 5-2 lead for a few moments, but then Braden Barr with a 2 RBI single. Casper pulls it within 1. Gillette finally gets the put out to end the game. A close one in extra innings, and Gillette wins it 5-4. So we've got 2 of our matchups already decided in the first day of the Wyoming American Legion AA State Tournament. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the bracket. We'll start it off with the winner's side of things. Sheridan with a 9-2 victory over Evanston. They advance. They'll play tomorrow at 4 p.m., waiting for the winner of the game that's just about to come up, Rock Springs and Cheyenne. Gillette beats Casper 5-4. They play tomorrow at 7 p.m., so we will see them against the winner of Jackson or Laramie, which will be the night game tonight. And we're going to have all these games live for you at mylocalradio.com. Losers bracket. Evanston loses to this Sheridan team 9-2. So they drop down to the 10 a.m. game tomorrow. They'll play the loser of Rock Springs Cheyenne. Casper, close loss 5-4 to Gillette. They drop down and will play tomorrow at 1 p.m. against the loser of Jackson Laramie. So that's what the bracket looks like. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, not only will we get you ready for Rock Springs Cheyenne, number 1 seed from the East and the number 4 seed from the West, but we're also going to take a quick peek at what's going on in Single A Wyoming American Legion State Baseball as well. So don't go anywhere just yet. We're getting you ready for Rock Springs Cheyenne right here on the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming pregame show. A message from the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition, and then we'll be back.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
The car just started to spin. I could feel the top of the truck hit my head I could feel the seatbelt hold me in place, and I knew it was doing its job. And I was so thankful for those seatbelts because they held us in. We did not go through that windshield. We did not go out that door. When it spun and flipped, we remained in that vehicle. The most glorious moment of my life ever was to open my eyes and see her face.
I like to believe the seatbelt is what saved my mom and I's life, and I just don't understand why somebody wouldn't just take the 3 seconds to just make that small decision to click it. Ever since I came home from the hospital, they put me in a seatbelt, and even now as a new driver, I still remember always to put my seatbelt on.
It's such a simple action that you can do that can completely change the course of your life forever. We are the Braley family, and we're alive because we buckled up.
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Cheyenne and Rock Springs, they are scheduled to go at 4 p.m. We'll see if we start right on time or not, but we're going to start in just a few minutes between the Post 6 Sixers and not the Sand Puppies, but playing in the state tournament for the first time as the Rock Springs Stallions. Whew, it's going to be a good game. Obviously, Cheyenne, the odds-on favorite to get the victory here at the state tournament. They've had such a great season, not only going one loss through conference play here in Wyoming, but playing well in out-of-state tournaments as well. Their one loss to Laramie way back on June 8th. They have won every conference game since. Let's roll some video from what these teams have done throughout the season. Rock Springs, they come into this with a 1-11 conference record out of the West. They finish as the 4th seed. They were 13-42 overall compared to Cheyenne's 63-17 overall record. And Cheyenne, they've been dominant. They have gotten the recognition they deserve from all over the state as well, including the COWBOY World Series, going on to the championship game of that one. Cheyenne's got some of the best statistical performers from a pitcher standpoint with Feezer. Zach Kostopoulos has gotten it done at the plate for the Sixers as well. So there's a lot of good things going on with Coach Ty Lane's squad and the Cheyenne Sixers. They've gotten recognition, like we said, from a lot of people around the state, and including on our 307 baseball coaches and media poll. So why don't we pull the poll graphic up, take a look at how these teams rank, because that gives you a little bit of an idea of maybe who's the underdog, maybe who's not, outside of just the seeding. Cheyenne came in at number 1, then Sheridan, Casper, Laramie, and Gillette round out the rest of that 307 baseball coaches and media poll. We've had some great responses throughout the year. By the way, the 307 Baseball podcast, we're going to have a recap show coming up on Monday. That'll be just a podcast show. In addition to the coverage we've got all week long live, with those games live, the pre- and post-game shows live right here from the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios, which we bring you back to now, and the recap show every night too. So Rock Springs and Cheyenne, winner of that one will face Sheridan, loser will go and face Evanston. Winner plays at 4 tomorrow, loser plays at 10 a.m. tomorrow. We're kind of up against it here. We've got live play-by-play coming your way of Cheyenne Rock Springs. Could be the biggest upset of the tournament. Could be the favorites taking care of business. We're going to find out. I'm Colin Holt. Enjoy the game, and we'll talk to you guys on the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming post-game show.
And a we welcome you live to Cowboy Field for Game 3 of Day 1 of the state tournament, featuring the Rock Spring Stallions, number 4 team out of the West, taking on the heavily favored Cheyenne Post 6 Sixers. I'm Elon Off, joined by Grant Storbo. And Grant, you being a former player, how exciting is it to get on the field for the first time in the state tournament?
Oh, there's no better feeling than Day 1 of the state tournament. This is what you work all summer for. You have so many days, long days at the baseball field in the heat where you're working hard, and sometimes you're going, man, is this really worth spending my whole summer doing? And then you show up to the state tournament and you get a chance to add another state victory, and that's just what Post 6 is all about. And I'm so excited for these guys. I had the opportunity to coach a lot of these guys, and I'm just pumped to see them having the success that they're having this year.
Grant Storbo here alongside me for this matchup on mylocalradio.com. And Grant, let's go ahead and introduce people to the starting defense for Cheyenne Post 6.
Here's how the Sixers are going to line up around the infield. It's Fisher Brown at third base, Coulter McAnally at shortstop, Keldon Hastings playing second, and Zach Kostopoulos playing first. Around the outfield, it's Julian Romero in left, Mason Tafoya getting the start in center, and Dom Lopez getting the start right. The battery for the Sixers today is Caden Anderson behind the plate, and the big lefty Garrett Oswald getting the start, one of the 2 college returners on this Sixers squad. And I would expect good things from Garrett. You're going to get a veteran start from him today. You don't have to worry about any postseason nerves. He's been there, done that, and I would expect Garrett Oswald to be very solid throughout the day today.
Oswald comes in, 39 innings pitched, 23 runs, only 15 of them earned, 45 strikeouts to only 15 walks, a great ERA of 2.69. Parker Ross leads it off for the Rock Spring Sand Puppies. And let's go ahead and introduce the batting lineup for the Rock Spring Stallions.
Here's how the Stallions are going to get after Garrett Oswald in this one. Parker Ross leading off, Hudson Gardner hitting second, Dominic Gunyon hitting third, and that's going to be the top third, who's due up to face Oswald in the top of the first. Dylan Johnson, Sam Wheeler, Ryan Powers, the middle of the order, and the bottom third is Adrian Beardsley, Barrick Hess, and Thomas Murphy, and that's how the Rock Spring Stallions are going to attack Oswald today.
Oswald delivers the first pitch at 4:09, so not too far behind schedule. The 1-0 is a chopper at the shortstop. McAnally over to first for 1.
Coulter McAnally just make things look so easy. He's a guy that's garnering some Division I recruiting. He's only a sophomore. He and Bradley Fieser have been a guy that teams have been flying in to see all year long.
I'll now bring up Hudson Garner, the catcher, his first year as a AA starter. With 1 down, first pitch in the zone for strike 1. Nice looking fastball from Garrett Oswald.
Oswald has a three-pitch mix. He goes fastball, curveball, changeup. Really has improved his changeup. I think that's the biggest thing he worked on when he was in his year in college out in Nebraska.
0-1 put foul. And it goes to 2 strikes.
Oswald is a big Nebraska fan. He's out at Southeast Community College. He'll return there for his sophomore year in the fall. Kind of a weird season for him when I was discussing his year. That one's fouled off towards the Sixer dugout.
Hudson fouls it off again. And the Stallions, you heard Cullen Holt mentioned that it could be the upset of the tournament if Rock Spring's able to pull off the win.
I think that, yeah, that would be a very good win for this Rock Springs team. I was chatting with Ty Lane a little before the game, and he kind of said the same thing. He says, I think my lineup's a winner, but we'll see.
That's why you play the games. Dominic Gunyon comes up after Hudson Garner strikes out, takes strike 3 looking. And Gunyon will now go into the batter's box. This Rock Springs team may be the 4 out of the West, but they went and played some tough competition in the regular season, a lot of out-of-state tournaments, and did fairly well. Just kind of speaks to how good the competition in Wyoming has become for American Legion Baseball.
I really think that baseball is as good as it's ever been in Wyoming. I think that a lot of these programs are taking a step up and a step in the right direction. This should be a fun week.
2-0 to Gunyon, misses down low. 3 balls, no strikes to number 15 of the Rock Springs Stallions. Gunyon comes into the season with a .252 average, as Gunyon will take the 3-0. Strike 1. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to My Local Radio's coverage of the 2021 AA State Tournament, as Gunyon chops this one into left field, and the Stallions get the number 3 man on. That'll bring up the big power hitter, Dylan Johnson.
That was a good swing by Gunyon. He was out in front of that fastball, shot it right in between Fisher Brown and Coulter McAnally, dropped it in front of Julian Romero and left. And that's good to see the Stallions get a base runner early on in the game.
Dylan Johnson comes in with a .275 average, and Garrett Oswald falls behind on the count early. 1 ball, no strikes.
I was looking at the Rock Springs Stallions during the national anthem, and I think they have the all-hair team of this tournament.
Absolutely. Chopper at the shortstop. McAnally takes his time, throws it to first, and that's out number 3. So 1 hit for the Stallions, but nothing comes across. It's going to be Post 6's turn. We'll get our first look at the top team in the state when we come back after this on the 2021 AA State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper. As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
No score in the first inning, and the Post 6 Sixers, the top team in the state, favorites to win the title on Friday, will now get their first shot at it, and they'll have to do it against the hard-throwing right-hander, Dylan Johnson. Dylan is the go-to guy for Coach Rocky Rondinelli. He had a few really good starts against the Outlaws, a 5.90 ERA, 35 walks, 55 strikeouts. He proved to be one of the top pitchers in the West this year. Definitely the ace of this staff in Rock Springs. And Grant Storbo, why don't you introduce us to the batting lineup for Post 6?
This is how the Sixers are going to line up in this opening day of the state AA tournament. Julian Romero's leading things off. Dom Lopez hitting second. Coulter McAnally hitting third. Zach Kostopoulos batting fourth. Those have been the 4 guys that have been mainstays in the order. Mason Tafoya hitting fifth. Keldon Hastings hitting sixth. Hayden Swain getting the duties to DH in this one, hitting seventh. Caden Anderson and Fisher Brown round out this Sixers order, and this is pretty par for the course for the Sixers. I think this is their A lineup. This is the lineup we'll see a majority of the week here in Laramie.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for Post 6 and really any team to get that day one start. Coach Ty Lane definitely has a great lineup, and it'll lead off with left-hander Julian Romero, batting .318 on the season with 53 RBIs at his third on this Post 6 team. Dylan Johnson, though, to deliver the first pitch for Rock Springs, and it's a drive into center field. Wheeler camped out under it with the shades for out number 1.
That's something you'll see early and often from Julian Romero. A lot of leadoff hitters, they'll work the count and try to see a bunch of pitches. Not with Romero. He's up there, and he's a free swinger, and it works often. That time he just got under it.
Here's right fielder Dom Lopez, 366 average with 66 singles, 86 hits total, 50 RBIs for the right-handed right fielder. Dylan Johnson, 1 pitch, 1 out. It doesn't get more efficient than that, as the next one is a breaking ball that just hangs up a little bit high.
Looked like a pretty good pitch from Johnson on that one. You know that when you get a 1 pitch out to start an inning, you're going to be taking in the batter's box. That's what Lopez was doing.
Righty to righty as Johnson delivers the 1-0 and misses outside and low. 2 balls, no strikes to Dom Lopez.
Go through this Stallions defense. Beardsley's in left, Wheeler's in center, Murphy is in right. Around the infield, it's Gunyon at third, Parker Ross at short, Ryan Powers at second, Barrick Hess at first. Behind the dish, it's Hudson Gardner, and as we've mentioned, Dylan Johnson on the mound.
Lopez takes the 2-0, and it turns to 3-0.
This can get frustrating when you're on the mound and you throw 3 pretty good pitches and you don't get any of them as a called strike. That's kind of what's happened to Johnson in this at-bat.
Always like how Johnson addresses the mound, always puts that glove up in front of his face, kind of like Randy Johnson, delivers the 3-0 in there. And you know one thing, it's really fun when in American Legion Baseball, you can have a 3-0 battle that looks like it's going one way, and all it takes is 1 pitch to get back into the battle, and Dylan Johnson has that opportunity right now. 3 balls, 1 strike to Dom Lopez. (3-1) popped up high. This is not going to go very far outside of the outfield. Second baseman Ryan Powers ranges over to make the grab for out number 2. And if you're the Stallions, it's a decent start.
Yeah, this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Dylan Johnson. He's gotten a couple of weak pop-ups. 1 to the center fielder. Romero just barely missed that one. Lopez, that one he just skied on the infield, just passed just a little bit out of the dirt. But yeah, couldn't have asked for a better start from Johnson.
Here comes the heart of the order, led off by Coulter McAnally. He's in the number 3 spot, 362 batting average with 79 hits, 49 of them singles. Just a great all-around player, great defenseman, as we saw last inning as he takes the first pitch inside for a ball.
Coulter McAnally really does a bit of everything for this post-6 squad. Plays short every inning. He's a man in the rotation. They've used him out of the bullpen. He has some saves this year. They will use him anyway. He's one of those guys that you can put in any situation. He's just a ball player.
1-0 to McAnally. This one driven along the third base line, but it goes foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and Dylan Johnson, 2 up, 2 down, but you got the dangerous Zach Kostopoulos standing on deck. You got to think it's important for Johnson to take care of business right here.
Yes, you want to get McAnally out without Kostopoulos stepping into the batter's box. When Kostopoulos gets to hit with guys on base, it usually means bad things for the other team.
Johnson takes a deep breath. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the delivery. This one, a lazy fly ball into left field. Doesn't look so lazy after all. Trying to make the catch on the run was Beardsley, and it's a double for McAnally, a 2-out double, and that'll bring up, as we talked about, Kostopoulos with a runner in scoring position.
First baseman, Zach Kostopoulos.
And 2 down.
This is a situation where Kostopoulos has been so good. Not very often do you see American Legion players get over the 100 RBI mark. That's where Kostopoulos is. He's on pace to break some records. If he can have a big postseason, he can etch his name in the post-6 record books, and those are tough to crack sometimes.
These names, these numbers, 404 batting average, 101 RBIs, 10 homers on the season for Kostopoulos, who you got to think has got to be the favorite to be the AA player of the year.
Oh, I think just going through those stats, he should probably be unanimous. I mean, you don't see guys put up those kind of numbers, especially with the BB Core bats. Maybe back in the day when you had the bats before they regulated them and they were bouncing balls off the wall. But Kostopoulos just put in a bunch of work. He transformed his body. He's a heavier set guy, but he worked really hard in the weight room, and it's paying off.
Runner on second for Kostopoulos as Dylan Johnson will go from the stretch. And the pitch inside, ball one.
Kostopoulos will go gap to gap. It's not like he's a dead pull hitter like you see with a lot of power hitting right-handed batters, but Kostopoulos will go the other way. He's hit a couple home runs out to right field this year.
The 1-0 barely misses inside, and you mentioned it can be a little daunting when you're making pitches and you're just not getting the calls.
It's definitely something that's frustrating on the mound. You got to be able to keep your cool, and I think Dylan Johnson's doing that. He's not showing any bad body language. He's just getting the ball and throwing it again.
2-0 inside, and Dylan Johnson in a bit of a jam. Runner on second, 3 balls, 1 strike. But last time he had a batter at 3-0, he actually came out and got him to fly out.
Yep, that was against Dom Lopez, and sometimes just need to see one over the plate. And really with the base open and 2 outs and a hitter like Kostopoulos, I'm not sure I'd give him anything over the plate.
3-0 on the way. And this one is a fly pop up into the infield. Hess makes the grab, and the Stallions get out of the inning. No score. As we head to the second, we could have the makings of a good one here. We'll be right back after this on a First Bank of Wyoming, on the 2021 AA State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
When you're looking for one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
The importance of saving and learning how to use money wisely can be taught from a very young age. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we offer youth accounts to help kids learn to save, borrow, and spend responsibly. Our youth accounts are special, just like the kids in our community. Check out our See You Grow, See You Learn, and See You Prosper accounts for kids 0 to 18. These accounts are great to start managing finances. Open a youth account today for $1. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
Well, 1 down and 6 scheduled to go as we are no score, but it's going to be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up for Rock Springs here in the top of the second. Sam Wheeler will lead it off for the Stallions, and you know, when you take on a team that has the name and has the credit of Cheyenne Post 6, sometimes it takes is getting through that first inning, and that's exactly what Rock Springs has done.
Yep, when you're an underdog in a tournament like Rock Springs is in this one thus far, you just got to play it pitch by pitch and try to get something going, as that was a ground out to the shortstop. Good play by McAnally.
Yeah, McAnally again kind of appearing to be that black hole in between third and second. Wheeler grounds out, and that'll bring up Ryan Powers.
Yeah, and McAnally's just a guy you don't want to hit it at. He doesn't make a ton of errors, and he is very sure-handed out at short.
Ryan Powers comes in with a 168 average. But you know what? Sometimes all it takes is a hot postseason game to bust out of that slump. We see it all the time as the first one is in there for a strike.
Yep, postseason, whole different ball game. You just got to try to play your best baseball no matter what you did in the regular season, because none of that matters.
Now another swing and a miss, and no balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Powers.
Oswald looks very comfortable on the mound, which is kind of what I expected out of Gio. He's been a guy that's been on this Post 6 varsity squad since he was a sophomore, and he's into his college return year. He's thrown a lot of games in a Sixer uniform.
0-2 finds the zone, and it's a strikeout looking, and a quick 2 outs for Garrett Oswald in post 6. That'll bring up Adrian Beardsley in left field. Beardsley comes into the game, finishing the regular season with a 182 average. This Rock Springs team averaging 246 as a unit, as Oswald delivers the first pitch. That one just a touch up high.
Haven't seen a ton of off-speed pitches from Oswald the first time around. Sometimes he tried to get through without showing any of those pitches.
And Beardsley puts this one into shallow right field. That's hit number 2 for the Stallions on the day.
That was a good inside-out swing by Beardsley, and another 2-out knock. See if the Rock Springs Stallions can make the Sixers pay.
I'll now bring up Eric Hess, the first baseman. Hess comes in with a 179 average, but the man you just saw didn't have a very high average. And like I said, all it takes sometimes is one at bat, one game, and you can repair an awful lot.
Hey, he's batting 1,000 in the postseason.
That's all. Yeah, all the numbers reset now. As Hess fly ball into shallow left field, Romero camps out under it. So Rock Springs able to get one on, but they aren't able to bring him across. We're off to the middle of the second. 0-0 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. We'll be right back after this at the 2021 AA State Tournament on MyLocalRadio.com.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
When your vehicle needs new tires, any tire store can get you back on the road. But only Plains Tire can get you rolling again with the peace of mind that you were treated well, paid a fair price, and that you'll be taken care of for the life of the tire. At Plains Tire, trained tire technicians mount and expertly balance your new tires, replace the valve stems, and hand check each lug nut to make sure it's all tight and secure. Plus, you'll get lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations only at Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston. Visit plainstire.com.
Mason Tafoya will lead off the bottom of the second as the post 6 Sixers still looking for run number 1 in this matchup against Rock Springs. Winner will play Sheridan tomorrow at 4 p.m. Loser will take on Evanston in a elimination game at 10 a.m. Pre-game for the morning will be at 9:45. Pre-game for the afternoon game, 3:50 p.m. That is if we can get through that 1 o'clock game without going to extra innings, right?
Yeah, we saw that in the game between Casper and Gillette, and that was a heck of a ball game. And I would presume that, as we were talking about how elevated the state is when it comes to baseball right now, I would expect some good games all weekend long.
Yeah, and if you want some good baseball, I have a feeling that 7 o'clock under the lights, Laramie versus Jackson is going to be a fun game to watch. Join that one. We're going to have our pregame show starting at 6:15, and then, of course, the live showing of the opening ceremonies as Tafoya puts one into left field, making a dive. Oh, my gosh, Adrian Beardsley with the Sports Center highlight of the game.
He went full extension. I couldn't tell if that one was going to stay foul or fair. It was going to be close either way, but it didn't matter when it ended up in the glove of Beardsley. That was a heck of a play, taking the extra bases more than likely away from Mason Tafoya. Tafoya runs very well. Heck of a play out there by Beardsley.
First, Beardsley gets that single, and then he comes up and does that. That's what playoff baseball will do to a player, just absolutely amp you up and get you going. And there's no one who appreciates that play more than the man on the mound, Dylan Johnson.
Nope, you tip your cap to him and give him a pat on the butt when he gets in, because that was a heck of a play.
I'll bring up Keldon Hastings. 1 ball, no strikes. Dylan Johnson facing off against him. Hastings with a .272 batting average in 2021. The 1-0 rides way inside.
Play in left field, that just changes the complexion of the whole inning.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in the first base dugout, you're thinking you have a guy on second to start the inning. Instead, it's a big momentum changer.
Johnson kicks and deals. That one foul tips. 2 balls, 1 strike. You know what it also does? It kind of lights up that dugout off of the third base line. That's Rock Springs, because man, you're seeing some effort. You're seeing things start to kind of go your way, which if you're going to pull off a big upset in the state tournament, you need that.
Absolutely. You just got to take it 1 out at a time. You need 21 outs in a 7-inning game. And
as Hastings pops up in the infield, Parker Ross makes the grab and 2 down.
This Sixer lineup just not squaring up Johnson right now. He's getting a lot of weak contact outside of that swing by Tafoya and McAnally. Everybody else has not been putting good swings on it the first time through facing Johnson.
Hayden Swain, .274 batting average on the year. 40 hits on the season, which is a monster year.
Swain in his first year at the AA level, spent last year on the A and B level. So he's made the jump very well for this Sixers squad.
Fouled off, no balls, 1 strike. On a beautiful Monday, July afternoon in Laramie, the 0-1. That one barely clears the netting, and might have taken out a radio person to our right.
Reese Monaco's down there calling the game, and yeah, he might have to duck out of the way of that one.
That was pretty close. 0-2 count though to Hayden Swain, the designated hitter. I think it was first pitch. I know I said it. I didn't write it down. I want to say it was like 409 or something like that.
I think you said 409.
The 0-2 on the way. And this one, fly ball into right field. Thomas Murphy tracks it down and makes the grab. And the Stallions looking good so far. No score on the mylocalradio.com scoreboard. We'll be right back with inning number 3 after this at the 2021 AA State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
The big difference that sets Freeway Tire apart from other tire stores is the fact that we care. We care about the customer service we provide, we care about selling quality products at fair prices, and we care about your vehicle. So when you're looking for tires or having work done on your vehicle, everything from maintenance to major repairs, make sure you take it to the company that really cares, Freeway Tires, on Bear River Drive in Evanston. Stop in today or schedule an appointment with us online at freewaytires.com.
As your local Ricoh, Toshiba, and Sharp dealer, Mountain West Business Solutions represents quality office equipment that lasts. We work with each client to understand your workflow, your goals, and your bottom line. Whether you lease or purchase office equipment, we have many ways to work with you to provide the best products at the best value. We also service and provide supplies for HP printers. Call Mountain West Business Solutions today. Let us help you find the best solutions for you and your business.
Well, we are in the 3rd inning, and one team has 2 hits, the other one has 1. The team with 2 is Rock Springs. Dylan Johnson dealing on the mound, getting some help from his defense as well. And getting it done is actually the bottom of the order for the Stallions. So it just goes to show postseason baseball is a whole different animal.
Yep, absolutely. And these guys are going punch for punch. These two are just feeling each other out a little bit right now early on, but Rock Springs is putting together some good at-bats, and Dylan Johnson's holding this Sixer lineup at bay at the moment.
That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Thomas Murphy, his first at-bat against Garrett Oswald. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Oswald hasn't flinched, though. He's been working very well. Those singles have come with 2 outs, so he's been very composed.
The 0-1 inside, ball 1. I mean, that's the thing. Usually when you're in this type of situation, you're talking about, okay, what happened with post 6? Nothing happened with post 6. Rock Springs has just come to play. Post 6 has looked great at defense. I mean, it's still a no-score game. It's not like Rock Springs has gotten anything on them, as that one's in there for a strike. But it's looking to be just a solid 7 innings of baseball.
Yep, as long as both teams keep playing clean, it's going to be a very good game. These pitchers seem to be doing their thing right now.
Oswald gets him to go looking, and that is strikeout number 3 on the day for Garrett Oswald, and that'll now bring up the leadoff man, Parker Ross. He grounded out to the shortstop to lead off the game here in the top of the 3rd.
And we just got through that lineup for the first time, so we'll see if Garrett Oswald starts mixing his pitches a little bit more. If Coach Lane wants to stay with the fastball, Coach Lane does call the pitches for the Sixers.
1-0 on the way. This one popped up high into left field. Romero giving chase, so too is McAnally. And the race is going to be won by the ball that hits the ground in foul territory. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's so much foul territory at Cowboy Field here, and so plays like that, you can steal a couple outs where at most fields it'd get out of play.
Yeah. Tell you what, the hustle from Coulter McAnally at shortstop was lightning fast. Reason why they're D1 schools looking at him. Last I've heard, I think Mizzou is going to get him.
That's what it sounds like right now. He's still just a sophomore.
Yeah.
But yeah, sounds like he's going to be a Tiger as he moves forward, and it's just crazy. It's good to see guys like McAnally and Fieser bringing in some colleges. It helps everybody when you get scouts' eyes on Wyoming baseball.
Of course, you got the first baseman, Zach Kostopoulos, who is doing that as well.
Absolutely. A lot of these guys have ambitions to play at the next level, and I think we'll see a lot of these guys. I think 4 out of the 5 seniors on this Sixers team are going to go play at the next level.
That's the thing about the Cheyenne Post 6 team. They were the underdog to win the state championship last year. Came in with a really young team that just put it together in crunch time. As this one is into shallow left field, Parker Ross with a 1-out single, and Rock Springs continue to knock on the door. We'll see if they can walk through it.
You keep getting guys on base, and eventually you're going to get the big hit that can drive somebody in. As I mentioned, these teams are just kind of feeling each other out right now, but the Stallions not flinching at all. They're up to 3 hits, a hit an inning for Rock Springs thus far.
That'll bring up Hudson Garner. First pitch to him, lined along the first baseline, but it rolls foul.
That was, you can say baseball's a game of inches and a few inches the other way, and that could be extra bases down the right field line.
Especially with all the territory that Dom Lopez is leaving by that first baseline. Throw back to first to check up on Ross. He's back no problem.
Yeah, this is one of those fields where no matter how you play people in the outfield, and did you see that? McAnally and Fisher Brown just switched. McAnally's playing third, defending against the bunt.
Interesting, as that one is fouled off. Yeah, McAnally. And now they're going to switch back.
You don't see that every day.
So that is a very interesting move. That's almost like we're daring you to try it.
Absolutely.
No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Hudson Garner goes down on strikes. That is his 2nd strikeout of the game. That'll bring up Dominic Gunyon, who really got this whole party started with that 2-out single back in the first.
Yeah, Garrett Oswald was cruising in the first inning, looking like he was going to get a 1-2-3 inning, and Gunyon had other thoughts.
First pitch to Dominic inside, ball 1.
Going back to Brown and McAnally switching, Brown allows that to happen. He played a ton of shortstop last year at the A level, so he is very comfortable if a ground ball comes his way.
2 straight balls to Dominic Gunyon, who's one of the offensive focal points of this team and is playing like you want one of your lead offense guys to play. Swing and a miss for strike 1 at high heat.
Absolutely, that one might have been a little bit above the hands. I'm not sure if that was in the zone or not, but Gunyon took a cut at it.
It's one of those ones, if you connect, you could thread it along the third base line, as this one is a chopper right at Kostopoulos. It's going to be a foot race. I don't think anyone's there. The ball's going to roll over by the Cheyenne dugout. No one is covering the play. The throw to Romero. Does he get him out? Yes. Rock Springs with some aggressive base running, and that ends the inning. But buckle your seatbelts. This has been crazy the first 2.5. We've got more. No score on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. We'll be right back after this with the bottom of the third. This is the 2021 AA State Tournament on MyLocalRadio.com.
Gee, Tommy, you look amazing. Did you try something different with your enamel?
No way. I wouldn't do anything to alter these pearly whites, but I did see Dr. McKay Frankham, who told me if I didn't floss, I could miss up 35% of food particles.
Really? He told you that?
Yep, and you know what? He's 100% right. I started flossing, and now I look better than ever.
Wow, I want to see Dr. McKay Frankham.
Well, give him a call. 307-789-8910. Easy to remember, right?
That's super easy. Dr. McKay Frankham at 307-789-8910. I'll call today.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Caden Anderson, the catcher, leads it off for post 6 as we roll to the bottom of the third inning. And post 6 kind of had a bit of a scary moment there if you are Cheyenne, almost giving up the first run of the game.
Yeah, I know something that this post 6 coaching staff preaches is not giving the other team things for free, and they nearly gave the Rock Springs Stallions a free run, and that was a crazy play there. Not very often do you see the final outcome at home plate like that.
Yeah, and Rock Springs, they came in here with the energy that I think that they know it's going to take to pull off something special here this afternoon. No score going into the bottom of the third, and it's the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Sixers.
Caden Anderson and Fisher Brown have been fantastic at the bottom of this lineup all year long. They do a really good job of turning it over and getting it back to the top of the lineup.
Dylan Johnson back out for inning number 3. Sets the glove in front of his face. First pitch, heat right in the zone for strike 1. And when you've got a defense playing as well as Rock Springs has played, you feel like you can be a little bit more aggressive.
Absolutely. You're not afraid to challenge these post 6 hitters. Johnson has yet to record a strikeout, but he's only allowed the 1 base runner. Of course, some of that is on Adrian Beersley in left field with that play last inning.
The 0-1, this one up the middle, that's going to drop for a single for Anderson. And we'll see if post 6 can start to put their mark offensively on this game, because at this point, I got to double check. I think they have been out hit by Rock Springs. They have 4-2. and the only error in the game committed by Cheyenne Post 6 as well. So right now, the momentum does lie with the Stallions. We'll see if they can try to kidnap it.
Absolutely, and right now, Post 6 just not playing very clean baseball at the moment, and the Stallions are taking advantage of that. We'll see if the Sixers offense can get going.
Bunt is laid down, goes right back to Dylan Johnson. Throw to second to get the leadoff runner. Heads up play by the pitcher to just turn around and see that he's got time to get the lead man.
Yeah, and that was a really not a very good bunt by Fisher Brown. It went right back to the pitcher, and it looked like Johnson was going to go to first. He didn't really have his feet set to go to second base, but he spun and fired it, and it was on target. Good play by Mr. Johnson.
I'll bring up Julian Romero, who flew out to center field to start the game for Post 6. Lefty batter. One of the only lefties that we've seen that Dylan Johnson has faced. The pitch. Up high, ball 1.
And Romero's the only lefty on this team. A couple of guys try to switch hit, but don't do it often unless there's a game that is a little bit out of hand. That's the only time they try. But other than that, Romero's the only lefty on this Sixers squad.
Johnson delivers, falls off the mound as he delivers it, and that one off of the hands of Ty Lane over off the third base coach's box.
It's kind of interesting. Not to correct you, that's Gary Harley.
Oh,
Ty
okay.
Lane goes
Excuse
with
me.
the MLB style manager. He hangs
he's
out.
in the
He hangs
dugout
out in the
the entire
dugout. He
time.
calls the shots, and he lets his
All right.
assistants do the base coaching.
All right.
Coach Harley's got to have that one.
Yeah. Either way, it was just off his hand. Next pitch misses for ball 2.
That's something new that the Sixers have done this year. I haven't asked Coach Lane why he does it, but that's just a switch they made about halfway through the year.
2-1 to Julian Romero, who's 0 for 1 on the day. And the pitch outside, that one off of Gardner's mitt, and the runner's going to take off and advance to second on the pass ball.
You saw the Sixers wanted to have a guy on second with 1 out, unable to do that with that sac bunt going back to the pitcher, and now they have the situation they wanted, man on second, 1 out, and the top of the lineup up.
Johnson will go from the stretch. We haven't seen him have to do that very much today.
No, he's been out of the windup early and often thus far.
The 2-1. This one, fly ball into center field. Wheeler makes the grab, and he'll throw it. No, he won't throw it back in, but it's not deep enough for the runner to do anything with it. And the defense for Rock Springs, led by the pitching of Dylan Johnson, continues to show up in this state tournament.
Yeah, this Rock Springs defense came to play today. Like I said, Johnson hasn't had a strikeout yet. He's trusted his defense, and rightfully so. They've made a bunch of plays.
I'll bring up Dom Lopez, the right fielder. Johnson with the ball behind his back from the stretch. Runner on second, 2 down. No score on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard in Game 3. These are not elimination games. Those start tomorrow. The pitch. This one. Fly ball into right field. Wheeler, there's Murphy, makes the grab, and we're headed for the 4th. Rock Springs handling every punch Cheyenne Post 6 throws at them. No score on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. We'll be right back. This is the 2021 AA State Tournament on MyLocalRadio.com.
In May of 2019, Uintah County School District Number 1 became the first school district in Wyoming to achieve a certified level 1 on high reliability schools by the Rosanna Leadership Center. We're focusing on 3 levels. Level 1 is a safe and collaborative culture. Level 2, effective teaching in every classroom. And level 3 is a guaranteed and viable curriculum. We are certified level 1 in safe and collaborative culture. This is Superintendent Ryan Thomas. Congratulations to everyone in our district. Keep up the great work.
Uintah County School District Number 1, Pathway to Excellence.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Red Devils! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Well, no matter what happens in this one, the team that will take on Evanston tomorrow, you got to think, they like how they've come into the state tournament no matter what happens. Who wins, who loses this one?
Absolutely. The pitching and defense in this one has been very good. Just the one error, saw that didn't hurt the Sixers. They were able to get out of that last inning. I think both teams would like to see their bats come around a little bit, but Rock Springs has gotten on Oswald a bit. They've had base runners on all over the place, just have yet to drive them in.
First pitch to Johnson, down low but called a strike. So good movement by Garrett Oswald. And again, as we said earlier, it's not as if Oswald has not played well. It's not as if Post 6 hasn't played well. It's just this has been a tough defensive baseball game.
Yeah, both teams are. At the beginning, we were saying they were feeling each other out, and I'm starting to think this might just be how this game is played. Could be a low-scoring affair.
Oswald with the 1-1. Johnson up the middle, but running over is Hastings. Throw to first. Takes Kostopoulos off the bag, but the smart player he is, he makes sure he gets that foot back down.
Yeah, he's gotten so much better at first base over the last couple of years, and he's really taken that position by command, and that was a good play by getting his foot back on there.
I'll bring up the center fielder, Sam Wheeler, who grounded out to the shortstop earlier. And this one, fly ball into center field. That drops. It's behind the outfield. And extra bases for Sam Wheeler.
That was a very good swing by Wheeler, and he just burned Tafoya on that one. A lot of times these Sixers outfielders, they'll play in, they like to, at least early in the game, you like to take away the one in front of you and you'll live with the ones over your head to start, but that was a very good swing. Tafoya didn't have a chance at that one.
That'll bring up Ryan Powers. He struck out last time up. Don't see any action in the bullpen of Cheyenne yet, as Oswald is in a minor jam. And the pitch to Powers, this one a high hopper, goes into the glove of Oswald. The throw died at the very end, but they are going to give him the out. Great glove by Zach Kostopoulos over at first.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play. That was a tough one. Not one that you work on when you do your pitcher fielding practice very often. The old shot off the home plate went way up in the air. Oswald didn't have a ton of time to set his feet and throw.
Here's who's probably the player of the game thus far, Adrian Beardsley, as he hits one right at Hastings. Throw to first, and that's out number 3. So Rock Springs continues to threaten, but they can't put anything across the plate. It's no score heading into the bottom of the 4th on at the 2021 AA State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
Toronto Valley Federal Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial institution. When you become a member, you are an owner of the credit union. We believe in people over profit, and that impacts the way we do business from our overall structure down to the smallest detail. Our philosophy sets us apart, and we're here for you. Earn more with our high-yield checking account, start a savings goal, check out our competitive loans, and much more. Become a member today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. Member NCUA.
This First Bank of Wyoming broadcast of Outlaws Baseball is brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. Dr. Todd Hoover does all the chiropractic work you need, as well as blood work, dietary supplements, a weight loss program, x-rays, and he can help you get rid of migraines and allergies.
No scores. We are halfway through our scheduled 7-round bout. And this has turned into a slugfest defensively. No one has given up any runs. Rock Springs has out-hit Post 6 5-2. And they are not blinking at all at the prospect of facing the #1 team in the state.
No, they're not. They're not flinching at all. In the first year, wearing the blues is Rock Springs at the American Legion tournament. It's kind of weird. When they first showed up, I had to do a double take. I forgot that they had transitioned to the Stallions from the classic orange and black that Rock Springs usually wears. But man, they're going toe-to-toe with the #1 seed right now.
Yeah, Rock Springs. You know what? The Stallions are undefeated at state.
Hey,
let's. Dylan Johnson. As he kicks and deals, that one will go low. Ball 1.
McAnally had the double back in the first inning. See if he can give the Sixers a leadoff base runner. Makes it so much easier when you're attacking a guy like Johnson, when you can get a guy on with no outs.
1-0 to McAnally, up high, ball 2. And what I mean is they're undefeated. I mean, hey, you know what? Sometimes all it takes is a name change, a logo. It's like the Marlins till last year.
Yeah.
Every time they were in the playoffs, they won it all.
Yeah.
And all it takes is just getting here.
Absolutely. Everyone's 0-0 right now on day 1 of the state tournament.
Breaking ball hung inside to McAnally. 3 balls, no strikes. Now this is where it gets complicated. If you walk Coulter McAnally, then you got to deal with Kostopoulos on deck. And that is a scary proposition, no matter how talented you are.
Absolutely. You don't want to put anybody on base for free, especially when Kostopoulos is in the on-deck circle.
Johnson delivers the 3-0, so he had to have it. And you got to think he needs an out here, or he needs something to not set things up for Kostopoulos.
Absolutely, but in a 3-1 count, McAnally's going to be sitting on something right here, the one he wants, and he's got plenty of power as well. He's put some balls over the wall. He's dangerous as well.
3-1 plunks him in the number 27. And McAnally gets on, and this could be the moment Post 6 has been waiting for.
Yep, they're just trying to get something going. Their offense has just been sputtering thus far, but maybe this leadoff we saw, they had a leadoff base runner in the last inning in Caden Anderson, but unable to bring him around. The meat of this order coming to the plate. So these are the guys that you count on to drive runs in.
Pop out to first baseman was Zach Kostopoulos. First time up. McAnally did get on with a double. So McAnally has a bit of a lead. Throw back to first to check up on the young shortstop, and he's back in time.
Zach Kostopoulos. See if he can get into something. He just popped one on the infield, didn't hit it very well. He rarely has 2 bad at-bats in a row this season.
Waiting the first offering, and here it comes. This one lined into left field, and Kostopoulos with a single, and they go station to station. 06 starting to warm up the engine.
Yep, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Zico, as he mentioned. He could be the player of the year at the AA level, and it's because of swings like that. He doesn't just hit for power. He can hit balls hard and reach base safely, and we'll see if the Sixers want to play some small ball here with Tafoya. He handles the bat very well.
Mason Tafoya 0 for 1. Flying out to left field, but a fly out here would help Post 6 cause a bunt. It's light at Dylan Johnson onto first for out number 1, but the runners all move over. And now Post 6 got something brewing as they have Dylan Johnson in a bit of a jam for the first time all game.
Yeah, that was a good job by Mason Tafoya. I had a feeling that they were going to sack bunt right there, and that's exactly what they did, and Hastings going to try to drive this run in.
Right now, if you're Rock Springs, you need a strikeout. You need Dylan Johnson to turn on a little bit, as Hastings will take the first one inside. Good stop by Hudson Gardner. With how much foul territory is here, you have to stop everything that's thrown at you.
Absolutely, anything to the backstop in this one. And it's not one of those fields where you're not going to advance. It'd be an easy run for the Sixers.
Johnson misses that one just up high. 2 balls, 1 strike. It did not miss by much.
No, that was a pretty good pitch from Johnson. This is really the most trouble he's found himself in this one.
Take a deep breath and go back to battle 1 pitch at a time. That's exactly what Johnson looks to do. Coming out of the windup, not even worried about the runners, as that one is popped up. It's playable. Hudson Gardner makes the grab going into the fence. And just like that, Rock Springs gets another great defensive play.
That's what they've been doing today, and he slammed into the concrete, and he's down right now. He hit it very hard. He slammed up into that fence, and that was a heck of a play by Garner.
Rocky Rondinelli and pitcher Dylan Johnson comes to check on him. We're going to keep it right here for a little bit longer. It looks like he's okay. Might have just knocked the wind out of him as he went full bore into the chain link. But, man, makes the grab, and that is another big play for this Rock Springs defense.
Yeah, and that's what they've been doing. I mean, Hastings was looking like he was going to get to see another pitch, but Garner was able to glove that. And, man, he's showing some toughness because concrete doesn't bend any. It's not like the chain link fence. He took on a concrete wall behind home plate right there.
Yeah, the concrete wall goes about belly button high, and he ran into that wall, bounced off the chain link as it was above him, and kind of hit the deck pretty hard. So now Johnson could get out of this jam depending on what Hayden Swain does. He flew out to right field. A fly out would end the inning. And that catch in foul territory takes so much off the table for post 6.
Driving the run in with less than 2 outs is much easier with 2. Now it's going to take a single from Swain.
As Swain goes to left field, this one back, and it is foul.
Swain smoked that ball.
Major.
He was spinning to win right there, and he spun on it. Just couldn't keep it foul. That was foul by just a couple feet.
And that looked like it could have been a game breaker, but goes on the wrong side of the foul pole, and Swain will have to reset and do it all again with 1 strike on his account.
We saw that ball just barely get foul, took extra bases away for Rock Springs a couple innings ago, and that one for sure would have been extra bases for Swain.
Johnson, glove in front of his face, and the delivery. Outside low, ball 1. With this type of jam, if you were Rock Springs, only a batter ago, if you only let 1 come in, that would have been a victory. But now you got a chance to strand them.
Absolutely. Right now you're getting greedy. You're saying let's keep this thing knotted at 0 and get to the next inning.
1-1 count to Hayden Swain, and the pitch. That one inside, ball 2.
Base open, so a walk here wouldn't kill you with 2 outs. You have a place to put him. Caden Anderson standing on deck. He singled his first time around, though, so he seems to be swinging a hot bat lately the last couple weeks.
Dylan Johnson looks to be one of the stars of the day as he delivers the 2-1. This one hit right into left field. Post 6 going to get 1 in. They're going to get 2 as well, and it's 2-0 Cheyenne. It took them 3 2/3 innings, but post 6 finally breaks through.
Yep, it was starting to look like Rock Springs was going to be able to dance out of danger and get out of the inning with no damage done. Hayden Swain had other thoughts, shot that right in between Gunyon and Ross on the left side of the infield, and that's how the scoring gets going. As you mentioned, all the way in the 4th inning. Figured there would have been runs by now. Cheyenne jumps on top here in the 4th.
With 2 down, if you're Dylan Johnson, you got to have a short memory and put that out and just focus on getting out of this inning and getting your team up to bat, and then Rock Springs has hit well. Johnson throws to Barrick Hess. It goes way over to the fence in foul territory, and Swain will take second on the air.
Hess almost grabbed that, just tipped off of his glove. He was unable to keep it in front of him. And that's a big 90 feet, because now anything into the outfield, Swain could potentially score from second and extend this lead.
Caden Anderson, who hit a single into center field last time up, led off the third inning, now here in the fourth. Johnson with the delivery. This one fouled over the first base line, and the first pitch will go down as a strike. Fisher Brown stands on deck for the Sixers.
And Anderson, really, he hit that ball hard, just wasn't on time for it. But that's the second. His ball up the middle in his first at-bat was very good, so he seems to be seeing it really well right now.
0-1 count. Johnson checks the runner from the stretch. That one, beautiful pitch, catches the inside part of the zone. Strike two.
Johnson, it'd be huge if you could get out with just the 2 runs coming across. As we've seen, the Stallions have had guys on base all day long, so 2 runs isn't something they should be flinching at.
This one right up the center, and Cheyenne Post 6 bringing in another one. Thrown in by Sam Wheeler, but it's going to be uncontested at home plate. And Post 6 out to a 3-0 lead, and the offense starting to come alive for the top team in the state.
Yep, that was a very good swing by Caden Anderson, almost a carbon copy of his first at-bat where he shot one up the middle. That one, Ryan Powers at second was playing up the middle just a little bit, gave a diving attempt, but was unable to keep it in. And that's where that error on the pickoff move came around to hurt the Stallions quite a bit, because that allowed Swain to move up 90 feet, and he came around to score on that single.
So this is just going to be a conversation about the situation. That is not Coach Rondinelli. So Dylan Johnson just probably getting one of those take a deep breath. It's 3-0. We've come out of bigger holes than this before type conversations.
Absolutely. One of those situations where you just got to say, fellas, we just got to find a way to get this last out. Trust our offense is going to get us back in this game. 3 runs, as you mentioned, isn't insurmountable by any means, but we can't let this pile on, and we got to get out of this one and get to the next inning.
Yeah, right now, Dylan Johnson has been an absolute warrior for Rock Springs today. I've heard Coach Rondinelli say multiple times, that's my guy. He's my guy that I trust in big situations, and Dylan's proved him right today.
Yeah, he's done a very good job, been very composed, just needs to get one more out to get out of this inning.
Johnson throws it. This one fouled over the third base line, and it is strike 1 to Fisher Brown.
Second time around, the Sixers lineup, they've started to barrel some more baseballs up off of Johnson. They're hitting them much harder than they were the first time around. First time around was a lot of weak contact for Post 6. They're starting to swing it a little bit better. Brown bunted into a fielder's choice his last time, trying to sacrifice himself. Won't be doing that.
3-0 Post 6, 2 down, and a 0-1 count to Dylan Johnson. The pitch. Throw back to first, and Hess able to get a diving Caden Anderson, who's in there safe. 1 ball, 1 strike to Fisher Brown.
It's always good when you're getting a nice competitive secondary, enough to where you can go on that ball in the dirt when you see it. You got to get yourself off far enough. That's something this Sixers team will take advantage of, is those balls in the dirt.
Anderson with a bit of a lead off of first. And the pitch. This one, chopper down the third base line. Great grab by Gunyon. Throw across the diamond, and wow, what a play by Barrick Hess. The throw took Barrick off the bag, and he tags Brown on the run-up. So 3 come down for Cheyenne as they lead 3-0 on the Impact Physical Therapy scoreboard. We'll be right back after this. This is the 2021 AA State Tournament on mylocalradio.com.
When you lose a tooth?
Put it under your pillow. Under my pillow. Like a treasure chest so you could put it in.
Why do you do that?
Because then the tooth fairy comes for the tooth fairy. So the tooth fairy can come get them.
And then what happens?
I get money.
We may not be the tooth fairy, but we can still take care of your teeth. Bear River Dental in Evanston.
The best cement comes from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. They've been mixing cement for every type of job for generations. Major construction, road and bridge, cement blocks, foundations, sidewalks, curb and gutter, cement steps, septic tanks and water troughs. No job is too large or too small. Make sure you get the best quality cement available at the best prices. Always get your cement from Ellingford Brothers. Call today. Ellingford Brothers, we know cement. 307-789-1515.
Well, we're in the 5th inning, and this game has been quick. We're just barely over the hour mark as we enter the top of the 5th. Elon Olive and Grant Storbo bringing you the action live from Cowboy Field at the 2021 State Tournament in Laramie.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a day of baseball thus far, and this game hasn't disappointed either. Sometimes on day one you can see some lopsided victories, and that just hasn't been the case thus far today. Every game's been very competitive, and that's Rock Springs is going to look to answer, try to figure out the riddle that is Garrett Oswald. He's held them to 0 runs through 4 innings, 4 strikeouts in those 4 innings.
Now looking for the win is Oswald. So with a 3-run lead, you can probably expect him to be a little bit more aggressive as he puts that one right down the pipe for strike 1.
Yeah, he's going to continue to attack these Stallions hitters. He's a guy that gets better as the game goes along, and as he starts to get the feel of the strike zone, as are a lot of pitchers.
That one was a way high delivery, but it's like a ball that just dropped right in there.
That's the good curveball that Oswald is capable of snapping off, and when he can start mixing his pitches, he becomes very difficult to hit.
0-2 to Barrick Hess, who's looking for his first hit of the game. That one goes in the dirt, bounces off the shoulder of Caden Anderson. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hess.
That got Anderson in the right forearm. He was shaking it just a little bit. He's a tough kid. He'll be all right, but those catchers can take a beating sometimes.
Post 6 up 3-0 here on mylocalradio.com as Oswald kicks and deals. That one, wow, did not miss by much. It'll go 2 balls, 2 strikes to Barrick Hess.
Oswald popped the glove right there, hit it, threw it exactly where Anderson wanted it, just a touch off the outside corner.
Hess pops this one up, foul. So we'll hold with the ballerina, count 2-2.
Hess doing a very good job battling with Oswald in this at-bat. Oswald has been very efficient. He's at 48 pitches, 34 of them have been strikes.
That's an unreal strike percentage. 2-2 inside, and we're going to have a payoff pitch oncoming. Down by 3, Rock Springs goal. Get that leadoff man on.
Absolutely. We saw that last inning with the Sixers. Just makes the rest of your inning offensively so much easier when you can get a guy on.
3-2 offering. Swing and a miss, and Hess goes down on strikes. Oswald doesn't have a lot of strikeouts, but he has been great on the mound for post 6.
Yeah, he's been doing a very good job. That was his 5th strikeout of the game, so he's just having 1 an inning, and that can help so much when your defense just has to get 2 outs and your pitcher's getting 1 every inning for you.
Thomas Murphy, who was a strikeout victim last time up, takes the first one up high for a ball. That one fouled into the fence.
Oswald, when he, as most people between their sophomore and after their freshman year at college, he's really put on some weight, and it's helped his velocity a ton.
This one, a slow roller to Coulter McAnally at shortstop, throw to first for an easy out, number 2.
The Stallions are testing Coulter McAnally. He's had a bunch of plays, and he has answered the bell. I believe that's his 4th ground ball that he has scooped up and fired across the diamond for an out. That was a good play by McAnally.
I'll now bring up the leadoff man, Parker Ross. 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Pitch. Up high, ball 1.
Oh, no, the shortstop. I don't know what.
Mentioned they were testing McAnally. It seems like he's really answering the call.
Absolutely. He's a guy that will compete very hard. Good multi-sport athlete. He's a starter on the Cheyenne East basketball team, so he's a guy that knows how to compete and does a very good job, especially when he's standing out at shortstop.
2 balls, no strikes to Parker Ross here in the 5th. And the delivery. This one, hard hit at the shortstop. Guess who? It's McAnally again. Throws across the diamond. And a great grab by Kostopoulos. Was that 2 straight ground outs to McAnally. And we are through 4.5. 3-0. Cheyenne, post 6. Going into the bottom of the 5th. This is the 2021 AA State Tournament on MyLocalRadio.com.
There's a reason Rocky Mountain Yeti is Southwest Wyoming's #1 dealer. Come in and see what all the buzz is about. Voted Best of Evanston by you. Best of Evanston in new car sales, used car sales, and Best of Evanston in service. We have the best selection of inventory in town, paired with our legendary 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Come see us today at one of our 2 locations, 100 Wasatch Road or Yeti on 3rd next to Walmart. Let us help get you on your next adventure today. Rocky Mountain Yeti, legend driven.
Time flies, especially when you're having fun. This is Jeremy Rex, manager at T-Bar S in Evanston. It's hard to believe that we've been here almost a year with our new management team and staff. Did you know that you can have your vehicle detailed, your windshield replaced, chip repair done, or get your trailer refinished or rewired at T-Bar S? Of course, we are a full-service collision repair shop, too. You can even change your oil and your brakes. Visit T-Bar S today. Let T-Bar fix your car. 515 County Road, Evanston.
3-0, post 6. As we enter the bottom of the 5th inning, Elin Olive and Grant Storbo bringing you the action live from the 2021 AA State Tournament in Laramie. Dylan Johnson has thrown 50 pitches thus far, and definitely the type of performance you want from your starter in the playoffs. Only down by 3 heading into the bottom of the 5th, but a chance for post 6 to add on a little bit more.
Absolutely. Johnson's done a very good job. The Sixers did tag him for 3 runs in the last inning. That really took the Sixers. Those first 3 innings, their offense just didn't look right. And we'll see if they can get to Johnson here the 3rd time around. Julian Romero's flown out to center field in each of his first 2 at-bats.
Yeah, Julian Romero's going to lead it off, then Dom Lopez and Coulter McAnally, who probably, if I was to pick a player of the game for each team, I'd say Coulter McAnally for post 6 and Adrian Beardsley for Rock Springs, although honorable mention for the Stallions would definitely be the man on the mound, Dylan Johnson.
Absolutely. All those guys are great candidates for the Player of the Game award.
Bottom of the inning as Dylan Johnson will face off against Romero, the lefty, for the 3rd time today. Johnson has won both of those battles thus far. First one misses, ball 1.
a very aggressive leadoff hitter. We saw that leading off the game. Decided to take this. We'll see if he works the count a little bit.
1-0 on the way. Up high, ball 2. Winner of this game is going to play Sheridan tomorrow at 4 o'clock. The loser will play Evanston at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning in the elimination game, first elimination game of this state tournament. Ball 2, and this one is driven into shallow left field. And Romero gets on the scorecard with a hit.
That was a good swing by Julian right there. Just went with that outside pitch the other way, shot it over the head of Parker Ross at shortstop. And that's 3 consecutive innings where the leadoff man has reached for the Sixers. And we'll see if they can add on to this 3-run lead.
Dom Lopez 0 for 2 on the day. Fly out to second base and a fly out to right field to end the 3rd inning. 0-6 though with the man on. And nobody down. Pitch, runner goes, swing and a miss. And the swing might have gotten in the way of any play that Hudson Garner might have had. And the runner slides into second, no problem.
I think that was a situation where the Sixers had the hit and run on, and Lopez has to swing no matter what to protect his base runner. But I think you're right. I think that swing got in the way of the catcher. At least threw him off a little bit, so he couldn't make that throw.
So no balls, 1 strike to Lopez. The 0-1 finds the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. Coulter McAnally stands on deck. Dylan Johnson still looking for strikeout number 1. Again, has used that Rock Springs defense, which has raised their level here at the state tournament. The 0-2. Breaking ball just hung up a little too high, trying to drop the curve in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was a stone cold take from Lopez. That's one that he could have easily gotten rung up on. But home plate umpire saw it the same way Lopez did.
Johnson with a runner at second. From the stretch, checks that runner and delivers. This one fouled across the 3rd baseline. And we're going to hold out a pitcher's count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Absolutely, and Lopez is going to have to just kind of battle right now. When you fall behind in a count, you are no longer the one dictating the at-bat. You have to just kind of take what the pitcher gives you, and Lopez does a very good job of that. He's a very consistent hitter. He's dealt with a few injuries throughout this year, but he's looking healthy at this state tournament.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Dom Lopez. Breaking ball does not find it. It missed just barely down low.
Boy, those are 2 pretty good breaking balls from Dylan Johnson in 2-strike counts. Lopez able to lay off of him. Can't say I'd say the same if I was standing in that batter's box. I would have taken a cut at one of those.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Johnson still out in front as he gets Lopez to pop up. Gunyon runs over, camps out just to the left of the pitcher's mound and makes the grab for out number 1. So that is a good first out if you're Rock Springs, but now you've got the Twin Towers for post 6.
That's a good nickname for these 2, and you're absolutely right. That was necessary for Johnson to retire Lopez there, because you don't want 2 guys on base with the meat of this Sixer order coming up.
Of course, it's Coulter McAnally in the batter's box. Zach Kostopoulos on first. McAnally waiting for the first pitch from Johnson. Coulter's had a good day at the plate. First pitch rode inside for ball 1. McAnally with a double and hit by pitch. If I remember correctly, it was a full count offering that tagged him in the back.
Yeah. I would say get out of the way, young man, and you get to go to first base either way, and you don't have a bruise. But McAnally's a tough guy.
1 ball, no strikes from Johnson to McAnally. This one fouled into the screen. That was definitely a swing that McAnally just had to put on it, or he would have gotten rung up there on the strike for sure.
Absolutely. That's one of those situations where he just was trying to fight that pitch off and live to see another one.
Runner on second is Julian Romero. out there on a stolen base after a single. And the pitch, this one hit right at Dominic Gunyon. It's past him. He was sliding for it. Runner's going to come home. Dylan Johnson, no throw. And it's an RBI for Coulter McAnally, who reaches on. I think I'm going to call that a single because that was a well-hit ball, and Gunyon gave it a good try. So it's an RBI single by McAnally, make it 4-0. And post 6 might be smelling blood in the water.
I think so. I think this offense is kind of figuring out Johnson just a little bit this third time around, and now the coaching staff from Rock Springs is going to come out and we'll see if they make a pitching change.
This is Rocky Rondinelli, so we'll see if this is going to be it for Dylan Johnson. And I think this is ultimately going to be up to Dylan if he wants to keep going. I mean, you gotta ride him as far as you can. He's done great so far.
Absolutely. It's one of those situations where you got to go ask him how he's feeling. Do you want to face really the best hitter in this lineup and probably the best hitter in the state in Zach Kostopoulos? And it's the third time around. And usually the third time around when you're facing a starting pitcher, you can start to get him timed up. You've seen everything he has. And Sixers, I think, like you said, they're smelling blood in the water a little bit. They could have a big inning right here.
Well, I don't know what the conversation was, but if it was Rocky asking Dylan if he wants to go, Johnson says, I'm going, as he stays on the mound for Rock Springs. It also could be Rocky coming out and saying, hey, you're my guy. I've got faith in you. Go get this guy.
Absolutely. You got to go out there and tell him there's nobody better right now, and he's going to have his A stuff against Kostopoulos right here.
Go back to first to check up on McAnally. Kostopoulos, the other side of that two towers that we were talking about.
Yeah, Kostopoulos.
Two towers, Cheyenne, Bash Brothers, whatever you want to call them.
Whatever you want to call them. There's lots of nicknames for those two. No matter how you draw it up, they're very good ball players.
McAnally is going on the pitch, but he's going to have to come back as Kostopoulos fouls that one up and over the backstop. No balls, one strike to Zach.
McAnally's a guy that will swipe some bases. This Sixers team very aggressive. He's stolen 16 bags this year. He's tied for third on the team in that category.
Both Kostopoulos and McAnally Double-A second years, and they're both young. They're going to be back for a few more years.
Absolutely. This team really doesn't have a ton of seniors. This is going to be the
breaking ball right in the zone. Throw by Garner. Trying to make a play was Ryan Powers. The throw just died at the very end there, letting McAnally get into second. But yeah, I mean, this is a team that already has a state championship. I mean, a team as in these particular guys, and they're all really young.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You lose the two college returners. You have 5 seniors. I'm not sure where their birthdays land, if they're able to come back or not. But really, pitching staff will take a little bit of a hit with some of the exit of some of these seniors and college returners, but the bulk of the roster will come back next year.
0-2 misses down in the dirt to Kostopoulos. And with one down and a runner in scoring position, by the way, that's Coulter McAnally. Johnson still in a pitcher's count, and he has Mason Tafoya on deck.
Saw Kostopoulos shoot one through the left side. We'll see if he goes back to that pull side.
Pitch up high and away from the right-hander.
Johnson getting up around that 70 pitch mark at 65 after that one.
So he's thrown 15 in this inning. He was at 50 leaving the fourth. As that one was a breaking ball that just hung. Kostopoulos hits that a ton, but somehow, some way, Sam Wheeler goes back and makes the grab. It'll go down as a sacrifice fly, but man, Wheeler just gets on his horse. You could see he wasn't running, he was sprinting out in center field, knowing that he had to make a stop, and he does just that.
Yeah, Kostopoulos absolutely stung that ball, and it just hung up in the air too long in his second mound visit for Rock Springs, so they'll have to pull Johnson right here.
Rondinelli and Johnson having a discussion. And that's going to do it for Dylan Johnson in what could be his final pitching performance of his career for Rock Springs. He's a super senior, so this was it for him. And he will leave to a round of applause.
He had a heck of a ball game in this one. And we'll get all those changes for you. But yeah, Dylan Johnson had a heck of a game, and he's getting some hugs as he walks off the field.
Dominic Gunyon is going to take to the mound. We'll tell you more about him when we come back after this. This is the 2021 Double-A State Tournament on MyLocalRadio.com.
Whatever takes you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground-level rooms on 10 acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including newly renovated rooms, a business office, workout room, outdoor pool, and full-service restaurant, plus complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
I'm Kendall Roberts with the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. Whether your car is a classic car or a new one, buckle up every time. Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Dominic Gunyon coming in for the Rock Springs Stallions. Let's tell you about him as we are in the bottom of the fifth. Gunyon coming in as the fifth highest strikeout man on the team, 30 strikeouts, 52 walks, a 0-5 record with an ERA of 7.26. So this is going to be a chance for him to kind of rewrite some things, as we've seen a lot of the Rock Springs Stallions have done in this one.
Absolutely. You know, when you toe the rubber in a postseason game, the ball feels just a little bit different. See if Gunyon can get the Stallions out of this inning with the score staying right at 4-0. And his first task is going to be Mason Tafoya.
Tafoya into the batter's box. First pitch is fouled up and out of here. I think it might have hit the top of the press box and rolls down.
Tafoya 0 for 2 on the day. He's flown out and grounded out in his first two at-bats.
Gunyon with a runner on third. That's Coulter McAnally. Kicks and deals in the dirt. Good stop by Hudson Gardner. You know he's in crunch time. If anything gets past him, McAnally's scoring, and it's a 5-run game.
Absolutely. Right now you're just trying to keep this right where it is and turn it over to your offense. Hope they can get things going for you.
Next one inside.
Tafoya, one of these young guns on the Sixers squad. He's in his first year at the Double-A level, and he's had a heck of a year. He's kind of been a Swiss Army knife for the Sixers.
2-1 count. Tafoya with a chopper right at the shortstop. Parker Ross throws to first, and it's past Barrick Hess. The run scores in the form of Coulter McAnally, and reaching on the error is Mason Tafoya. And it's 5-0, Cheyenne Post 6. Well, they're smelling blood in the water, and they are attacking right now.
Yeah, this is the offense that Sixer fans are more used to seeing this year, putting pressure on the defense, putting the ball on the ground, hitting it hard on a line. Early on in this game, they were hitting a lot of pop-ups, and those are very easy to field when you can put pressure on a defense and a guy has to throw it and catch it, you see some plays like that.
First pitch in there for strike, swing and a miss.
Hastings is a guy that will lose his zone at times. He gets a little bit too aggressive from time to time, does Keldon Hastings.
Hayden Swain stands on deck for post 6. 2 down and 0-1 count to Keldon Hastings. This one, he's under it. This one into shallow center field, and it's going to drop in front of Sam Wheeler. Another run scores for post 6. And back-to-back runners on second for Cheyenne.
Number 14, Hayden Swain.
And that's going to be the easiest double Keldon Hastings ever hits in his life. One of those awkward plays where when the outfielder leaves his feet, Hastings was able to get in there. He hit that ball very high and was able to cruise into second base. And like you said, Sixers are attacking right now, starting to hit their groove offensively.
You love the effort from Sam Wheeler in center field, running all that way and trying to end it with the dive. And he didn't miss it by much either, as this one's in the dirt, but a good stop by Hudson Garner.
Yeah, Hastings was ready to head to third base on that one. He took a few very hard steps when he saw where that one was going. That was a heck of a stop by Garner. And the Stallions still just looking for the final out of this inning.
Gunyon checks the runner at second, and the pitch, that one down low, 2 balls, no strikes.
Saw Hayden Swain turn on one in his last at-bat that was fouled just by a little bit, hit off the left field fence. He was able to drive in a run a couple of pitches later, and he has an opportunity to drive in another run right here.
2-0 count to Swain with Fisher Brown on deck, and Swain goes right up the middle off of the glove of Ryan Powers, and we got runners on the corners.
That was one where Powers was the one holding Hastings on at second base, so he was already playing up the middle. Normally that one goes into center field, unable to make the play, but he does save a run by keeping it in the infield.
So we always hate to mention it, but we have to. They're up by 6 in the 5th inning. The winning run is on deck for Cheyenne post 6.
Absolutely, and it's starting to feel a little bit like Rock Springs is just struggling a little bit right now to get this final out, and sometimes getting out of an inning is always the toughest one. And it's going to be Keegan Bartlett coming in to run for Hayden Swain, so Swain's day will be done.
Runners on the corners, and that'll bring up Keldon Hastings, or excuse me, Caden Anderson. First pitch to Anderson. Finds the outside part of the zone for a strike.
Anderson turning around, asking a couple questions to the home plate umpire on that one. The catcher always has a very good feel for the strike zone in his at-bats.
Gunyon checks the runner at first. Throw back to check up on that new runner, Keegan Bartlett, who dives head first back into the first base bag. Also got a runner on third, that is Keldon Hastings.
Bartlett was leaning a little bit on that one. I think he might have been headed to second base. That was a good pick by Gunyon.
The pitch. This one, liner into shallow right field. One more run comes across for post 6, and it's the same situation. Runners on the corners as Hastings goes to third. Excuse me, Hastings scores. Bartlett goes to third. And it's 7-0, and now the winning run for post 6 at the plate in the form of Fisher Brown.
Caden Anderson now 3 for 3. He's had 3 really good at-bats where he's just shot balls right back up the middle. That one a little bit further to the right side, but either way, Caden Anderson isn't missing very many barrels. They're going to have a pinch runner. It's going to be Ty Lobmeyer in for Caden Anderson, so he'll take over the catching duty. Nice to have athletic catchers that you can pinch run like Ty Lane has on this squad.
Fisher Brown represents the winning run for post 6. here in this first round matchup with Rock Springs. Rock Springs held so tough for so long, and the throw gets away on the pickoff. Runner scores, and headed for third is Ty Lobmeyer. So now you don't have a runner on first, you've got a runner on third. Or do they send him back? They're sending him back to second.
They're going to send him back. That must have gotten out of play. It's weird here. That fence ends a little bit into right field, and that ball must have rolled out of play before Lobmeyer got to second base, so they returned him to second.
So the throwing error brings in another run. And again, as I was saying, Rock Springs held on for so long, so well. But eventually, unless you can take advantage of early opportunities you're given against a team like Post 6, it's very easy to run out of gas. And that seems to be what's happened with Rock Springs.
Absolutely. I think they had those chances early with some early base runners and just weren't able to bring them in. And you knew eventually Post 6 was going to get going offensively.
This one, fly ball into left center field. Adrian Beardsley gives chase, makes the grab, and the inning is over, and we will play a sixth. It's 8-0 Post 6 on a first bank, or excuse me, at the 2021 AA tournament, live from Laramie on mylocalradio.com.
Whatever takes you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground level rooms on 10 acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including newly renovated rooms, a business office, workout room, outdoor pool, and full service restaurant, plus complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
I'm Kendall Roberts with the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. Whether your car is a classic car or a new one, buckle up every time. Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Ben Bowman going to lead it off for the Rock Springs. Or excuse me, Ben Bowman, sorry, he's going to pitch for Rock Springs. As Cheyenne Post 6 will now go on the defensive, as Bowman will take over for Garrett Oswald. Apologies. Bowman comes in with 64 2/3 innings pitched. A 9-2 record, no saves, 40 strikeouts, 40 walks, 78 strikeouts, 41 runs, only 29 of them earned, and a 3.139 ERA.
Yeah, Ben's the guy that he's gotten so much better. He throws a really heavy ball. He goes fastball, curveball, slider. He likes that slider as his primary off-speed pitch. Lobmeyer is in to catch. And Bowman's going to look to get these last few outs of the game. Oswald's final line, he went 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. And the no walks for Garrett Oswald is where he has vastly improved his game on the mound.
Swing and a miss from Hudson Garner for strike 1. As Ben Bowman will deal outside away from Garner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hudson, this is his first year starting at the AA level, and we've seen flashes of greatness from him behind the dish, of course, today highlighted by him sacrificing his body, to get that foul ball. So Rock Springs has plenty to be excited about with this catcher for the Stallions.
Absolutely, that was a big point in the game. Still a very tight game. A couple of men on. That was a huge play for the Stallions.
Strike 3, and Garner goes down. Bowman seems to be picking up right where Garrett Oswald left off. Dominic Gunyon, the pitcher, will now come in.
Absolutely, and Bowman is a very good pitcher. He's one of the seniors on this team. He's going to play college baseball at Mount Marty College in Yankton, South Dakota next season.
And with a fastball like that, you see why. Healthy cut by Gunyon, but all he gets is the Laramie air. The 0-1 on the way. That one inside. Dominic's got to get out of the way. It almost made contact with his black helmet.
Absolutely, and Bowman, he kind of throws from the three-quarter side, and his ball really runs in on right-handed hitters, and so he's not afraid to go inside on these guys.
1-1 outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Which middle school to ever start a varsity game?
As Bowman kicks and deals. If you're Rock Springs, you think you got to get something across, because you get the feeling Post 6 could put 2 runs up very easily in the 6th.
Absolutely, a 3-run inning in the 4th, a 5-run inning in the 5th. That offense is starting to get going. I think they're probably going to get 2.
Solid contact up the gap between 2nd and 3rd, and Dominic Gunyon with another base hit. I believe that's his 2nd of the game. Almost in the exact same spot. And Dominic gets on. That'll bring up Jaden Hunt. Jaden, this is his first at-bat of the game. Comes in with a .217 average. Throw back to first to check up on Gunyon. And he's back no problem. Ben Bowman, strong right-hander. First pitch. This one popped up high into left field. Romero will call off McAnally for out number 2.
And that's a really good job by Bowman. Sometimes after you give up that first base runner when you're in a relief appearance, it can rattle you a little bit. Bowman doesn't even flinch, fires one in there and uses his defense.
Sam Wheeler into the right-hand side of the batter's box. As Bowman kicks and deals, that one, strike 1 at the knees. Beautiful pitch location by Bowman.
Yeah, Bowman, that's exactly where you want to be. Not much a hitter can do with that other than bash it into the ground, and with the infield that the Sixers have, Bowman can trust his defense.
0-1 on the way. Popped up foul. This one's going to go over the stadium wall behind us. Giving out candy to the youngsters that get the foul balls and bring them back.
Baseballs are expensive. You got to find a way to get people to return them.
No balls, 2 strikes to Sam Wheeler. The pitch, that one, man, outside corner away and low. And Ben Bowman gets around the 1-out single by Dominic Gunyon. And we're headed to the bottom of the 6th. This is the 2021 AA State Tournament, live on mylocalradio.com.
Folks have many reasons to visit Casper, Wyoming every year, whether it's work, high school sports and activities, a romantic getaway, or business meetings. The best place to stay when you're in Casper is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. A beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, a pool, fitness center, and a fabulous indoor atrium. You can also reserve meeting rooms for your next event, and each stay includes an extended continental breakfast. Reserve your rooms today at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. Call 307-472-6300.
Evanston Regional Hospital is an affiliate of the University of Utah Health. Our partnership builds on a long tradition of collaboration between Evanston Regional Hospital and University of Utah Health. Inside these doors, our dedicated staff is committed to being your caring partner in your healthcare journey. Whether you need an MRI or surgery, are expecting a new baby, or you're having a heart attack, Evanston Regional Hospital is here to help. Evanston Regional Hospital. Healing begins here.
Dominic Gunyon goes out to start another inning of work. He didn't quite pitch the full inning when he came on, so he will be working
He came on and just got the final out of that 5th inning. Dylan Johnson did a heck of a job going 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. And it looks like Gunyon's going to try to get the Stallions to play this game into the 7th inning. 2 runs in this game will be over by virtue of the 10-run rule.
Romero, the left-hander, comes in. He started the day 0 for 2, but hit a big single back in the 5th, came around and scored 1 of 5, coming across the dish for post 6 as he'll take the first pitch into left center field. Wheeler makes the grab for out number 1.
That was a good swing by Romero. He put a charge into that baseball, but Wheeler had him perfectly played, just had to retreat a few steps, and that's out number 1, and that's good news if you're Dominic Gunyon.
Here comes Dom Lopez. And the first pitch from Gunyon. That one just a bit low, ball 1.
Lopez 0 for 3, looking to reach base safely for the first time in this one.
Swing and a grounder right back to Gunyon. Throw to first is in time. And now you got 2 quick outs. But here comes the first part of those two towers we talked about.
Shortstop,
Coulter McAnally and Zach Kostopoulos standing on deck.
Always huge when you can get those first 2 guys out, so you're facing these 2 with nobody on base, just 1 man on base potentially. But yeah, really good job by Gunyon. It's nice to have an infielder on the mound for plays like that.
First pitch to McAnally. This one, fly ball into center field. This one will drop and bounce over the wall. It's a ground rule double for Coulter McAnally.
And that ball was smoked. He got all of that one, just took 1 hop into the trees out in left center field. And McAnally just having a heck of a day at the plate. He is yet to be retired. 3 for 3 and a hit by pitch.
That brings up Zach Kostopoulos, who represents the winning run for post 6.
This is the part of the order that really gets things going for the Sixers. These 2 guys have been so good all year long, and I expect the same from them in this tournament.
First pitch to Kostopoulos, down low and in, ball 1. 2 quick outs after you get a fly out from Julian Romero and a ground out to the pitcher from Dom Lopez. Then you have Coulter McAnally hit one a ton, bounces it over the center field wall, which, by the way, it's 400 feet out there. And now you've got Kostopoulos representing the game-winning run. 2 balls, no strikes.
Absolutely. This is one of the biggest fields in the state, if not the biggest field in the state. You have to poke it to get it out.
That one down in the dirt, bounces off of Hudson Garner, throws to third. That one is not going to have a play, so the runner moves over to third. That's Coulter McAnally. 3 balls, no strikes to Zach Kostopoulos. And if anyone in the state has a green light, you think it might be him.
I would say he's got the green light here, and he's earned it. Those guys that get the 3-0 green light, that's exactly what they do.
Instead, he takes it for a strike. Kostopoulos, probably the major favorite to be crowned player of the year in a couple weeks' time. 3-1 down in the dirt, and the winning run is on. Kostopoulos draws the walk, and that'll bring up Mason Tafoya, who's had a bit of a quiet day, but an effective day. He's only time he's gotten on base, he came around and scored.
Yeah, Tafoya has reached on an error in his last at-bat, so he is 0 for 3 technically, but he's looking for the first hit of the postseason. Right now would be a very good time for it, as you mentioned, the winning run standing on first base.
First pitch to Tafoya, inside part of the zone for strike 1. 2 down, by the way. Romero flew out to center field. Lopez ground out to the pitcher, Dominic Gunyon. Runners on the corners.
Like every time I go get a ground ball on my plant, I slip.
BO1. That one down in the dirt. Another good stop by Garner, though. Holding McAnally at third.
Gunyon starting to lose feel for the strike zone here in these last couple of batters. That's a lot of balls. 5 out of 6 pitches have been a ball for Gunyon.
Dominic checks the runner at first. 1-1. Down low, 2 balls, 1 strike to Mason Tafoya. Want to thank you for joining us on mylocalradio.com. We'll have every game of the 2021 AA State Tournament live on mylocalradio.com. Of course, this broadcast brought to you by Buckle Up for Life Wyoming. The Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition would like to remind you to buckle up every ride, every time. Buckle Up for Life Wyoming. 2 balls, 1 strike. 3 balls, 1 strike rather, to Mason Tafoya. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Nice change of speed by Dominic Gunyon to get Tafoya way out in front of that one.
Yeah, that was a very good pitch. He had Tafoya way out on his front side, and Tafoya's going to have to make an adjustment on this full count pitch.
Payoff pitch will be soon coming from the right-hander Dominic Gunyon. And the pitch inside, and it's going to be bases loaded for post 6. Winning run now in scoring position, and that'll bring up Keldon Hastings.
Second baseman, Keldon Hastings.
He hit a double last time. A double would win the game.
And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Kostopoulos. That is Trenton Rodriguez, is who's going to come in and run for Zico, the big man.
The pinch run for Zach Kostopoulos.
So I don't know what the post 6 team as well as you, Grant, but are they trading in some speed here?
Yeah, Rodriguez runs very well. He's a senior, and he's also a guy that, should the Rock Springs get out of this inning, he plays corner infield, he plays third and first, so we'll see him go into the game at first base. So kind of one of those moves where you get some more speed and you don't have to burn a guy, putting him in a position he's not comfortable at, should the Stallions get out of this one. So yeah, Rodriguez definitely gives the Sixers a good chance to score on any ball to the outfield.
Hastings awaiting the first pitch. This one, fly ball into left field. Back it goes. If it drops, it's game over. And it does. That is a walk-off homer for Keldon Hastings. Walk-off grand slam for Keldon Hastings. Final score will be 12-0 on the Impact MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. And Rock Springs will play Evanston tomorrow at 10 a.m. Cheyenne post 6 will play Sheridan tomorrow at 4. That is your final score. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we will have the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming post-game show with Cullen Holt in the studio. Again, your final score on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. It is 12-0. Big walk-off grand slam by Keldon Hastings to end it. This is the 2021 AA State Tournament on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best cement comes from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. They've been mixing cement for every type of job for generations. Major construction, road and bridge, cement blocks, foundations, sidewalks, curb and gutter, cement steps, septic tanks, and water troughs. No job is too large or too small. Make sure you get the best quality cement available at the best prices. Always get your cement from Ellingford Brothers. Call today. Ellingford Brothers, we know cement. 307-789-1515. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when two roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less traveled. Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
I buckle up because there's been too many fatalities around our house where somebody would have survived if they'd been wearing their seatbelt.
I definitely wear my seatbelt to keep him safe.
I wear it just for safety.
I buckle up because my mom makes me.
I buckle up to set a good example for my kids and to make sure they stay safe.
Getting home safe to my family.
I buckle up because it keeps me safe. Go Pups, buckle up!
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Another fun game here at the Wyoming Class AA State Tournament out in Laramie. Great call there by Elon Olive as Cheyenne walks it off for the run rule victory in the opening round. They will be moving on. We're going to break it down here as we welcome you into the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios. That was another good game, and for a while, Rock Springs had everybody on the edge of their seats. Let's roll the highlights and take a look at how this game went down as Cheyenne and Rock Springs duked it out in the first round of this tournament. And again, it ended in walk-off fashion. It felt close for a very long time. And Rock Springs, thanks to Dylan Johnson, who started on the mound for them, kept it close for a very long time. As it was 0-0 going into the bottom of the fourth, just 7 combined hits between these two teams. You want to talk about a defensive battle? That's what it was up until the bottom of the fourth. So let's jump ahead to that fourth inning now. We'll roll the tape for that and take a look at what happened as Cheyenne finally found the offense they had been searching for a little while. Started off with Hayden Swain at the dish. A 2 RBI single got Cheyenne on the board. And guess what? The Sixers, who are the heavy favorites in this tournament, never really looked back. Caden Anderson, he also had a good game. We'll talk a little bit more about him a little bit later. An RBI single for him, so it will be 3-0 at the end of the bottom of the fourth. And that was all a 2-out rally for that Cheyenne team. So now we go to the bottom of the fifth. This is where Cheyenne really started to break the game open. You felt like maybe a 3-0 deficit for Rock Springs was something they could come back from. But not after the bottom of the fifth when Coulter McAnally, Hastings, Caden Anderson all get down on the fun. There was also an error involved, and Cheyenne stretched their lead out to 8-0 on that scoreboard out there. And again, big thanks to Elon Olive and Storbo on the call for us there. We're going to have another game live for you. That pregame show will start at 6:20, by the way. We'll take a look at the schedule. But this was a big frame for Cheyenne. Bottom of the fifth, they stretched the lead all the way out to 8-0. Felt like they were kind of on the verge of maybe getting that 10-run advantage after 5, which would have effectively ended the game right then. Didn't do it in the fifth, but then in the bottom of the sixth, they got ducks on the pond, runners on the bases, and well, I'll just let the picture speak for itself. Why don't you go ahead and open that folder there? That might be in the 7th inning, actually, as we pull it up here from the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios. Let's see if there's the video. There it is. This is the bottom of the 6th, and yeah, game over. Cheyenne calls game, bottom of the 6th. So final score 11-0. Cheyenne gets the victory over Rock Springs. And another fun game. We saw a really close matchup between Gillette and Casper earlier. Hopefully we see those two teams run into each other again, because that would be a heck of a lot of fun. That was just a 1-run game. This game was a lot of fun too, and it was an 11-run game. And I feel like this Rock Springs team has been sneaky good all season long. We've been talking about them. Obviously, I've seen them a lot because they're in the southwest corner of the state along with Evanston. But they played close with Cheyenne. You got to give them a lot of credit for holding them scoreless through the first 3 2/3 innings before Cheyenne finally broke the game open. Let's hear from the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the brackets and how everything shakes out after Game 3 here on day 1 of the Wyoming AA State Tournament.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
I'm Officer Kevin Malatesta, Public Information Officer for the Cheyenne Police Department. Cheyenne Police Department for the May mobilization is really looking for people who aren't seatbelted in their cars. It's a secondary violation in Wyoming, but as we make traffic stops for speeding, cell phones, whatever it may be, we're going to be looking to make sure that people have their seatbelts on. As we've gone over, seatbelts do save lives, and way too many people in Wyoming aren't wearing them. We want to make sure that people get home, get home safely, get to see their families again. So if they're involved in a car accident and that seatbelt is on, there's a much higher likelihood of that person making it through that accident, making it through without injuries even. When we have crashes without seatbelts, the consequences are much more severe.
We'll start it off on the winner's side, as we always do. Cheyenne moves on to face Sheridan. Make sure we got everything all figured out. Should be Cheyenne versus Sheridan there. Game 7, Tuesday, 4 o'clock p.m. So tomorrow the Sixers will take on Sheridan. Haven't quite updated that quite yet. But let's go to the losers bracket now, where it will be Evanston versus Rock Springs as we pull up the losers bracket. That game will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the losers side of things, as those teams will try to work their way back up and in. And with the way Rock Springs played, especially defensively, can we show the losers bracket? Especially defensively, really on in that game, you got to feel really good. So Evanston, Rock Springs, that'll be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Casper's already there waiting for the loser of Jackson Laramie. Let's go back to the winners bracket. We're missing one fill-in there. But Cheyenne and Sheridan tomorrow at 4 p.m. Gillette waits for the winner of Jackson Laramie. That one is coming up at 7 p.m. Let's bring you back live now in the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming studios. We got a lot of baseball still left to play, at least 7 innings. Maybe if it's like that Gillette-Casper game, it'll be more. Maybe if it's like that Cheyenne versus Rock Springs game, maybe it'll be a little bit less. But either way, we're in for a treat with that Jackson Laramie game. We're going to start pregame for that one at 6:20 p.m. so you can get the in-depth matchup insights for that final game. We're starting pregame at 6:20, even though the game doesn't actually have first pitch until 7 p.m. because there's going to be like an opening ceremonies at 6:30, and we wanted to bring that to you live on mylocalradio.com. Lots of good stuff going on. We are 3 games into this. If you join us for the pregame show at 6:20 as well, we're going to take a look back at games 1 and 2 with Sheridan beating Evanston and Gillette beating Casper. We'll also run through the highlights real quick of this game here. Cheyenne taking care of business against Rock Springs. Most importantly, we're going to get you ready for Jackson and Laramie. The host team will finally be in action at Cowboy Field. We'll talk about it. We are also waiting for some results out of the single A bracket. When we get those, we'll give those to you on the pregame show as well. So here's what you do. We're going to shut down this stream here. All you got to do on mylocalradio.com, scroll down just a little bit and make sure you find that Laramie-Jackson game. Tune into that. 6:20 is when pregame will get going, and I'm already excited to talk to you then.